how to create content that your audience is eager to consume? Stay tuned, because I'm going to tell you how. What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. My name is Marian, and if this is your first time here and you want to learn more about how to get more clients, how to enroll them into higher end packages and products and services, stick around, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell to make sure you get notified. All right, let's jump in. Let me know in the comments below after you watch this training, what is the main thing that you got out of this first class? And then, of course, I'll go ahead and answer to you as well. All right, so let's jump into today's training. So in the whole process of building your own high-end client acquisition machine, you need to first understand what's the main problem that you solve for your ideal clients. So here's what I mean by that. Oftentimes when we consult with clients, this is one of the first questions that we ask. Like, let's see what is the main problem that you solve for your ideal client. Because if you solve multiple problems, I can bet that one of those will bring your clients the most return on investment on the money that they have to spend with you when they hire you, regardless if you are a coach, consultant, or service provider of any kind, right? It's so important because let's take, for example, a health coach, right? Like, you might be solving different issues of somebody's health or somebody's life in terms of you may teach them how to eat healthy on a budget. You may teach them how to prepare their food at home. You may teach them how to and what kind of vitamins they can take. But essentially, the big picture, the big problem that you're solving for them is you help them get their health back on track. And then, of course, stay on track. So, you need to literally think of that big picture every time when you try to put your services in front of your ideal client at the right time, right? Because in this scenario, we talk about how you can build your own high-end client acquisition machine. So the way to do that is only if you actually, focus on solving that big problem for your clients, all right? So step number one is identify the biggest problem that you solve for your ideal clients. So that's super, super important. So you can go by, number one, what's that problem? Number two, what is it? Number three, what is it? So if you're not sure, which one to go with, just put down on paper as many as you can think of, and then just stop, take a step back and understand what's the problem that actually solves the biggest thing in their life or health or business, whatever your business model would be, and what's the biggest return on investment, because you're gonna carry all the messaging around that problem, including your content, including your funnel, including what you say in your ads, including what you say on your sales script, right? Because it's so important for you to paint that picture from the beginning. Like, this entire process walks your client from the time that you put a piece of content on the internet, regardless if it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, to bring them into your funnel. You're gonna keep the messaging, in the same sphere, in the same process, sort of say, right? Like you start your machine with the first piece of content that you put out there. So keep that in mind, right? And then once you identify what's the actual problem that you can have the biggest impact in somebody's life, you then focus on content. So here's what I mean. A lot of people, get trapped into, I got to put content every single day. No, you don't. You can just take one day and create 4 different pieces of content and then use those 4, if they're done strategically, use those 4 to drive all the people that watch that content into your funnel. So what a lot of people don't teach is they'll just tell you, or do your webinar and then send all the traffic, all the call traffic because it works. Now, lately, if you've never ran a webinar before, or even if you did, you know that the cost is keep going up for the cold audience. But if you know how to strategically create content around the problems that your ideal clients have, you can literally crush it. So, for example, at the beginning, you would pick, 1, 2, let's say 3, 4 pieces of content. So it's very important to not just create a video and just throw it out there. No, you strategically need to think on how you create valuable problem-solving content and then plug it into these 4. So for example, it'll be how to X, Y, and Z. 3 tips to fix whatever, right? Like if you're in the health space, how to eat healthy on a budget. But it's very important. At the end of every video, you're not pitching anything. You're not asking for anything. This is just pure value that you bring to the people. And you're going to let Facebook and Instagram and YouTube decide who's the perfect audience that can watch that video, because we'll talk about technical stuff in day 3 when you can retarget people that watch all this content, right? But it's very important to really structure it in a way so you'll pick, different scenarios, how to do this, and that. 3 tips to solve your health problems now. And of course, you need to make sure that you pay attention to what kind of claims you make. 4 ways to avoid 4 ways to avoid whatever, right? Like, this is the way that you have to structure your content in a way that you don't have to create one piece every single day. You create 4 of them, and all of them could be, roughly between 2 to 5 minutes. It all depends. If the one that you do how to, you can make an exception out of them, and for YouTube, you can make a longer piece of content, right? So for example, if you really want to maximize this whole process, you would do one piece that is longer than 5 minutes, but then the rest, you'll just make it between 2 to 5 minutes, straight to the point. You don't need to introduce yourself. You don't need to do much of, spending a lot of time on intros and outros. No, none of that. It's very important to just focus on identifying the biggest problem and then focus on putting the content and record it. Or what I love the most is actually live video. So for example, you can just pull your phone and start talking about this problem. You can just record it and then play it as a live video. And then you can just record it and publish it regularly, right? Like there's no right or wrong, but for those of you that are really, afraid of camera, which in 2019, 2020, 2021, you have to pass on that fear to somebody else, because you need to be on video and because the people really relate to other people. Like, you cannot build that know, like, and trust effect if you don't do these things and you are on camera. Like, essentially, you could put some slides all together and just, throw it out on the internet and then promote it, and then people will relate to that because you solve a problem. But the know, like, and trust and the relationship effect, it's only going to happen if you put your face out there, right? So super important. Number 1, identify the biggest problem that you solve. And then number 2 is content creation around those problems, right? So for example, like I said, one piece of content can be long format, let's say 5 to 10 minutes. And then the other one is just the other ones, 2 to 5 minutes. One can even be 1 to 2 minutes. So very simple. You'll just start the video like this. In this video, I'm going to give you the 3 steps that you can implement in your life right now so you can get your health back on track. Number 1, make sure you do this. Number 2, you should do this. Number 3, do this, and everything will slowly get back to normal. All right? If you like this video or if you have a problem with any of the 3 steps that I just mentioned and you don't know how to fix it, just comment below and I'll respond right back to you. Boom. That's it. If you do that, now you're not pitching, you lead with value, you have the hook, because that's the most important, that's the next, I would say the next step in here is how you actually apply the problem-solving content into your video. So you need to start with the hook. Don't start the videos with, "Hi, my name is." Nobody cares yet, right? Like nobody cares what's your name. They care what's in it for them. So number 1 is your hook. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 3 most important tips that you can implement right now to do this. Let's say you are a relationship coach. In this video, I'm going to tell you 4 ways that you can improve your relationship with your spouse. Number 1, you should do this, right? Like straight to the point. Don't waste any time. People are busy. You know, the attention span nowadays online is between 4 to 7 seconds, somewhere in the middle. Like in the 4 seconds, you need to hook a person for them to actually watch your content more, right? Super important. Number 1 is your hook. Number 2, here you can test out of these 4 to see exactly which one will work best. 2, you can implement a quick little story. So you can start with, in this video, I'm going to tell you the 4 things that you need to apply right now so you can get your health back on track. And number 2, like, you know, you just continue the video. And here's a story about one of my clients. Let's say Maria started to feel tired every night when she was going to bed. She wasn't happy. She wasn't feeling happy. She wasn't feeling fulfilled anymore. And her relationship started to go in the wrong direction because she always, you know, she was always in a bad mood. She didn't have energy to play with kids. She wasn't in a mood to spend time with her husband. Therefore, she reached out to me and asked me if I could help her with this. So here's what I told her. These are the 3 steps, Maria, that you can implement right now so you can get your health back on track, right? So hook, story, and then what are the actual problem solving, right? So I'll put in here problem solving. If you do this template, I would say, this is for, I wanted to draw a play button, but anyway, you get the point. It's very important to use this structure because 1 is you hook people in. You need to understand why they should watch your content. Number 1 is you hook them. Number 2, you give them a story that they can relate to. And if you think now like, oh, but what if that person doesn't relate? Doesn't matter. If they don't relate, it means that they're not your ideal clients. It's fine to just not be for everybody. Totally fine, trust me. So you hook them with the story. And number 3, you actually solve their problem. You don't tell them, message me if you want me to tell you, or message me or book a call or whatever. No, you actually tell them what it is and how you can solve their problem. You lead with problem solution content. And trust me, when you do this and you do it in all your content moving forward, just imagine people see and they watch what it is that you give them for free. Therefore, in their mind, you help them in advance, and you ethically actually help them in advance by providing more value, by providing quality content. So they'll watch this, you know, entirely up until the end because it's something that they can benefit from. Most of the content nowadays is just, you know, it starts with something, maybe just a clickbait or whatever, and then it's not actual, you know, problem-solving content, right? Like you're not just telling them what you ate for breakfast and things like that because nobody cares. When you are a big deal, you may do that, but now you just want to build your client acquisition machine. So you strategically do it through producing content that actually solves a problem for your ideal client. Not for everybody. Again, it's very important to understand. This is huge. This is the way that you will filter people out, and the people that are just dabblers or people that, you know, are not the people that you want to build your tribe around, they'll just weed out completely. All right? So I hope this makes some sense. Let me know in the comments if you did this before, or let me know in the comments if you actually have an aha moment now, because this was a game changer when I started to do this, and you know, engagement went to the roof. It's so much cheaper to promote content like this because now people are really engaging with it. People are asking questions, right? And it's so important at the end of, this is like a bonus, I would say. Ask a question. Ask a question at the end of the video with, what did you get out of this video? Just think about it. I just asked you that, right? And you're gonna comment if you got something out of this video, or if you didn't like it or whatever, you'll comment because I asked, right? But I provided value through this video. Therefore now you want to say one or two things, right? Because this can help you in your content creation process moving forward. All right, so again, let me know in the comments what it is that you got the most out of this, and how will you apply this in the future. So pay attention to day number 2, 3, and 4, because those are gonna be huge game changer in your own business, right? And in the process that you build your own high-end client acquisition machine. I'll see you in the next one. Yo, don't go anywhere. Hit these 2 other videos because I'm gonna have so much more information to share with you, and I'm pretty sure you can get some cool, valuable, and actionable steps. So just click one of these 2 and I'll see you on the other side. Take care.